Greetings, everybody. Rockman here. Thank you for tuning in to Kenshi Shek's Conquest, episode 21, Bull Market. Yep. And then... Sharp point. Let's pop this one open. Oh! That's a lot of engineering research. I've been getting a lot of engineering research. So we have 4 books. And then we have that one on the other side. This is really... Oh, an electrical component. This is really coming down to it. Let me make sure that I'm absolutely being completionist here. Clicking on everything that is lootable, because this facility has been bae. If I put it on the offhand slot, it goes on the belt, so you don't look like Deadpool, which I think is probably what Fang was trying to go for. Prediction. It came true. Wow, and this was a 43% pick chance? Dang, that was, I'm not sure what I believed, but, the yays have it. Sorry, nays. The majority of you were guesses. I honestly thought I would have voted no. I would have guessed no. Especially given that you saw me loot the first facility, and the first facility yielded me, like, none. So, you know, given that small amount of information that you might have had, it totally would be understandable that you would have just been like, oh, okay, so he didn't find one. He's not going to find another, right? But nope, apparently I did. So taking a look at the weight here. Fang needs to give up this club to someone that can physically hold it. Oh my god, no one is strong enough to hold this. This is just getting embarrassing. I'm not even sure that, okay, Rook can hold it. We'll follow headshot, and I am going to head home the way of this way station. Cowley wants to use blunt in the future. Okay, let me write that down. Maybe a staff? Maybe a Meito staff? I'm not sure we're going to kill the staff Meito user, though. I forget. I don't think we will, actually. We're not Meito hunting on this series, because that's just not what the Shek care to do. It's not what we're about, yo. So some of them we're going to get just because we're going to kill the people that use them and have them. But there's a lot of Meito users that don't make sense for us to go after. So we're not going to be getting all of them. Am I feeling better? Oh, I saw you ask that before. No, I still have a bit of a head cold. I'm better, but I'm not 100%. 80, maybe 90. Let me just tell you, the neti pot tickling your brain. Ooh, don't enjoy that. I need it, but I don't enjoy it. So we could have done some swamp turtle hunting, but given the amount of loot that we have on us and how absolutely encumbered we are already, I figured we would just sell some of the... Oh, no, not this again. We would sell some of the wonderful loot that we got and buy food instead at the way station, which is probably going to be a more efficient way of doing it. So we have all of this. Man, I can't imagine trying to go to war right now with all of the Shek, because they have such an enormous empire. I mean, not quite that of the Holy Nation. I would say the Holy Nation are probably the hardest to kill from personal experience, but it's a lofty goal, I'll tell you that. So I do have a question for you all, which is this, the original question. Now that we have the research, obviously I'm going to spend a little bit of time investing these research books into actually turning them into research, and I'll have you queued for what research we're going to do. So the next question is, are you Hang on. The next question is what to work on next. Where is the trader in this group? Oh, way out in front. Show me what you got. We were very, very, very hungry, so... Oh, God, I don't have any money, though. They don't have any money, and I don't have any money. I can't buy... Oh, this is painful. I could buy 2 books. Yeah, they had no cats on them, so we can't trade, because there's no such thing as, like, barter. That's pretty funny. Alright, so I guess I'm not trading with you. Bye-bye. If only I had more money or he had more money, we could do a bit of trade there, but yeah. We're definitely getting hungry. Headshot is starting to starve. Case and Chemo, Tora, but all of our ruin looting is going to yield us some fruit of our labor in a minute here. Let me put a timer on that vote. And let's go into the bar. Imagine how frightening it would be for the patrons here, given how rough of a world Kenshi is, that a group of all Shek, because in Kenshi, people are pretty racist, right? Notoriously so. A group of Shek run all as one large group into a bar would be super sketchy. Like ridiculously sketchy, lore-wise. I would totally forgive them being like, excuse me, get out. Don't kill us, or I don't know, some iteration of that. Now let's sell the CPU unit and the robotic components for food. A lot of food. Let's just keep going on food. What else do we have to sell? I'm going to sell the specialist arm. They don't even have enough money to buy the specialist arm, so never mind, not doing that. For now, will sell the club, because when Cowley changes over to blunt damage, a Cat 2 weapon is not a good enough club to bother with. What else do they have here? They have some bread. I'm just making sure I'm making very careful about not selling the wrong thing, because that would be sad. I don't want to part with anything really nice. Now, these skeleton repair kits, I could part with some of them. I don't need so many repair kits. I don't need a giant stack of them. It's kind of unnecessary. And it looks like you guys say, build wealth up with industry. Okay. So we are going to work on our industry. Cool. Now, tools might be worth holding on to, only because tools can also help you break open doors. So if we happen upon a facility that has a front door that that we're incapable of picking through, having tools like that can be really, really helpful. We have just about sold everything that we need to sell. I think I have steel bars and like a ninja blade. And Turda over here is doing the Harlem Shake or something. I don't know what he's doing. Seizing. And I'm going to need to find a vendor that can afford this arm. It's possible that the mechanical shop next door can afford this arm. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. If you're unscrupulous and you steal everything... Oh, I asked the wrong question. If you're unscrupulous and you steal everything, you can definitely find yourself in a situation where you have a ridiculous amount of cash very, very, very quickly. So now I'm up to 23,000, where I was at like 0 just moments ago, right? So it's exactly why I sort of have it as a personal rule to not steal everything that isn't nailed down, because if you steal everything that isn't nailed down, you skip some of the meat and potatoes of the game. Okay, so we have fully sold everything. One could make the argument that ninja blade was better for me to keep than to sell. Let's buy their regular books. We have 24,000 cats now, which it's a pretty good haul for one little ruin and basically no effort, right? And we're going to go home the way of the High Village because I'm going to pick up even more food on my way back. I'm going to buy a whole bunch of fish from the fish people. Hivers aren't fish people, but I can pretend they are. Get more weapon blueprints. So for now, I'm just going to be focusing on katanas, so I want to invest my money in other things. Like recruiting people, for instance, or whatever else. And here's the reason, and I'll explain, and hopefully I won't have to keep re-explaining, because I know people come in and out of the stream. But the way to build up your skills, maybe I should go there. So strength is built up by being encumbered, by carrying people, and by wielding really heavy weapons in combat. So if you're sparring, like if I grabbed a 50-kilo weapon and I started beating up a hungry bandit while holding someone on my shoulder and had a backpack full of ore, that would be a ridiculous amount of strength training. Dexterity is trained by cutting people with cutting weapons that don't have a lot of blunt damage. So the higher the percentage of cut to blunt, the more dexterity that you build up. So for someone like Ruka, as you can see, her dex has not really gone up very much. She started at maybe 11 or 10. It's gone up to 12 because her plank weapon here is majority blunt damage over cut, which does not allow her to train her dexterity all that well. Versus someone like Rakvin, who started at 0 and is up at 18, has flown past Ruka, even though they've been training basically side by side this whole time. Same with Kang. Same with basically anybody that has been using a sharp weapon. Ruka's dexterity has fallen tragically behind everybody else's. Look at Rain, right? 23, because Rain's using a longsword, which is almost all cut damage. So that's how to build up dexterity, and that increases your attack speed, your block speed, etc., etc., etc. So dexterity is really, really important to train early on because it allows you to attack faster, block better, etc. Perception is a stat that we're basically not going to train at all, except for headshot, because perception is mostly a crossbow stat. And then toughness is trained by basically getting the snot kicked out of you. That's more or less the best way to do it. There are some other exploitative ways later on, like the Fogmen, Cannibal Poles, or the Peeler Machines. I'm not going to get into that, but if you wanted to know other ways to build up toughness, that would be a way. But the best way to build up toughness is honestly just to get beat up a whole lot. So, you build up your toughness sort of passively like that. And I believe that having a artificial limb or having a crippled limb for Rakvin helps his toughness go up. So his toughness might be a little bit higher than other people's toughnesses that started off at roughly the same amount. But early game, I think it's definitely important to build up your athletics so you can run away from things, build up your dexterity so you can attack faster and block better, and then to build up your toughness so that you don't go into comas just as easily. Because, and I suppose I can read this. Toughness is both physical and mental. It's how you survive out in the desert. It is your ability to take a beating and survive, will also take less damage, and will be less likely to stumble when hit by a weaker attack. Stumbling allows the enemy to take opportunities of attack. So if they knock you down, as you've seen my guys get knocked down before, they get stabbed a few times before they get back up. And then it also gives you bonuses while you're critically wounded, and once your health drops below your KO point of health, it becomes critical and you go into a coma and require healing. So if you're really, really, really tough, you, much like Guts in Berserk, you basically fight until you die. You don't go unconscious. There's none of this like, oh, I'm unconscious, I need to recover. It's like, if you want to kill me, you have to decapitate me. And that is it. So that would be the TLDR of like the of training. And there's a lot more, it's a lot more involved than that, but that would be the sort of brief overview. Hey, Buckethead! I see you, wandering assassin. You can't hide from me. I see right through your bucket. Oh, I see right through your skull. Oh, reload time. So reload time is largely based upon the type of crossbow that you have. So here you can see the reload time is somewhere between 2.95 and 3.95 seconds for the crossbow in the stats. So the reload time is more driven by the type of crossbow that you have, the quality that it is, where some crossbows hit very, very, very hard and shoot slow. Some shoot fast and hit not as hard. So yeah, that's something to consider. And the best way to train up your... So I'll also go into that because we do have headshot, and if you're playing for your own... In this series, we're not going to allow any other crossbow users other than headshot. She came as a crossbow user, so she was the only exception. But the way that works, crossbows are really interesting in this game, where you have your crossbow skill, which is your accuracy and rate of fire, and then you have your crossbow precision, which is your chance to hit your teammates. So really early on, don't use strong crossbows because you're going to do a lot of friendly fire. So friendly fire is calculated by basically your chance to hit your friendlies that are within the sort of vicinity of your target. So you can't... It's not this situation where like all the enemies are in one direction and you decide to turn around 180 and shoot your teammate. That's not precision. That's not what crossbowmen do. It's that if you're shooting into a crowd of enemies, it's your chance to hit enemies over allies. And the best way to train that is to use a really, really, really crummy weapon like this junk bow. It's basically the worst possible crossbow that exists in the game, so that if I do accidentally hit my teammates, I don't kill them, maim them, or amputate limbs or anything like that. And probably, ideally, I would want a bow that shoots faster so she could train her friendly fire skills up a little bit faster. But it would probably help if I armored myself up first. So if she did end up shooting me, I wasn't ripped to shreds. Because you can absolutely murder your own teammates that way. I believe someone in my Birth of a Hive series died that way. They died to friendly fire. So you've been warned that crossbows do friendly fire. And in some fights, when you're particularly not skilled with it, you will do more friendly fire than enemy fire. Like, you will hurt your friends more. Okay, so I'm also looking at blueprints here. So there's something important to note, where not everybody can wear everything. Luckily, the Shek aren't very restricted about what they can wear, but they can't wear Hiver clothing. So this is a Hiver vest blueprint that I would never be able to wear. A Hiver chain shirt I would not be able to wear. A rusted hive shirt, again, not be able to wear. A blackened chain hive shirt, again, not be able to wear. The only thing I'd be able to wear here is the plated drifter leather pants, but plated drifter leather pants, as you can see, have athletic penalties. I really probably want drifter leather pants or samurai pants or something like that. So they're not blueprints that I'm particularly fond of. And then I don't think I'm going to, right at this moment, get the polearm research. I might buy a Lantern of Radiance. I'm not sure about that for like a researcher. But for right now, I think I'm just going to buy the books. And it's not that expensive. I'll buy the polearm research so I don't have to get it again. I don't have to come down here. And then I was really here for the dried fish. So the dried fish are these dried fish specifically, not the thin fish. Thin fish is only 10 nutrition for 400. These fish are 20 nutrition for 280. So these are a pretty good source of plentiful food. And then the other fish are too. Just avoid the thin fish because they're just not efficient sources of nutrition. Yeah, I just ended up buying it. Yeah. Now let's learn that. And all right, let's get home. Carefully, because we're still in Beak Thing territory. Now, when you're in the Hive Village here, if there was Beak Things that wandered in, oh, perfect example. If there's Beak Thing, oh, Case, get out of the water. Get out of the water, Case. If there's Beak Things that wandered in, the Hivers will fight them, and you don't really have to worry about them too much. Here we go. You'll see the Warriors and drone. Oh, okay. I said it, but they're not doing it. One way to just avoid them is just go inside, because the big things can't physically go inside, and as you run inside, you're going to wake up. So here we have like a soldier drone, and if you take a look at their stats, an attack of like 40s, defense of 30s, strength, toughness, and dex in the 40s, mid-high 40s. They are not to be messed with early game if you're coming to mess with the Western Hive. Interestingly enough, it looks like I'm going to stick around for this. It looks like the beak things picked a fight with bulls, and I will profit off that. Happily profit off that. So here's the typical loot from a beak thing. 6 leather, which is going to be pretty handy when we start leather armor smithing, and then 5 raw meat. The fowl meat is not edible to anyone but Hivers, so I can just ignore that. And I believe these wild bulls are actually truly wild. They don't belong to anyone. So I can take their horns, meat, and skins without pissing off the Western Hive, because they're not domesticated animals. They're wild animals. Now, the Hivers will use polearms, and these polearms have special stat bonuses. I wish I could show you one. But special stat bonuses that do extra damage to animals. So Hivers are literally designed to take down beak things, which is why when beak things wander into their territory, just let them handle it. Beak things also do splash damage, which is important to note. So you're not going to want to stand next to the Hivers. And as soon as you loot any one piece of the beak thing, the entire beak thing dies. So if you just take one meat from it or one leather from it, a beak thing instantly dead. So that's another way to deal with it. We are going to be quite encumbered. I'm going to have to share the weight here. So Poetic, you're going to have to carry some stuff. I'm going to probably rely on Poetic a lot because, Poetic is a martial artist, and being a martial artist means that he doesn't have things to hold normally. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to walk home slowly, because there's just so much stuff here. This was jackpot. Definitely jackpot. And some of this stuff I can sell here, but I'm going to keep the meat to cook it. And those beak things, like, absolutely massacred the bulls, so I made pay dirt here by having beak things to loot and bulls to loot. Make sure not to loot the Hivers, though, because that's breaking the law. And they're not going to really appreciate you breaking their laws. Thanks for stopping by, Mine Chronic. I'll look forward to seeing you in the comments. Alright, is there anything else? I think this bull? Yeah, that bull. And yeah, I mean, it's a little predatory that I just stand around and let others do the fighting for me. Don't worry, at some point I will be to the point where I can take fights like this myself. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be keeping all the animal skin so I can do some leather armor smithing. But I'm going to sell all the horns to the Hivers. I guess you could think of it this way. I did the manual labor of butchering, and they can get the yields, so... This is a lot of stuff. I can't believe a bunch of bulls wandered through. It was very fortuitous. But that's how strong beak things are. They murdered a relatively large pack of wild bulls with not too much effort, and then started to take out the Hiver guards afterwards and knocked one of them out. It's also why you will typically find prosthetic traders. So if I hold left alt here, this is a hut that sells prosthetics, because there's a lot of Hivers, as you can imagine, that would lose limbs to this sort of fight, so, you know, they sell prosthetics here as a result. Alright, so let's go ahead and sell these animal horns, because I don't really need it. Tora said that they want to use... I just wanted to confirm. So Tora, hit me up again to make sure that that's exactly what you want. But I'm absolutely happy to make or buy pole arms if and when I happen upon them for you. It's easy for me to miss messages. I could look at them when when they're downed. Yeah, I could. I just wanted to leave them alone in case they got catch me poking around their unconscious bodies is not exactly welcome by most Hivers. Buy the rice for research? Sure, I could do that. That makes sense. Unlock rice harvest for later. Yes, if it's okay. Yeah, it's totally fine. It's up to you. Any weapon that you want other than crossbows. So I have it written down. Tora, polearms. You got it, buddy. Alright, I think chemo is the slowest here. But man, I'm very happy that we... Oh, here comes another big thing. This big thing actually might be coming to eat the corpses of the slaughter here. And in fact, there's a bull... There's another bull. My cup runneth over. Alright, yeah, I'll stick around. I'm gonna have to run in and risk getting hit by the beak thing, because the bull just got knocked unconscious, and... You know. Alright, Cowley, let's go sell those animal horns. And then, Els, you loot the beak thing. And this is a very typical Vane. So if you wanted to start a new base, it can be very profitable to be in Vane, because Vane has really good fertile soil, but it's super dangerous. And it also rains all the time, so some people find that annoying. Can we buy an arm? Yeah, let's check for an arm. I wasn't really going to do shopping for myself. I only have 11k, which doesn't really give me options for good arms. But here are the arms that these Hivers have. So I could buy a specialist arm, an economy specialist, which still pretty sucks. I think I'd rather have Fang make me an arm rather than me buy one. I believe in Shek ingenuity over Hiver. Just, again, roleplay. Oh, do I have an arm to sell? No, I don't. I already sold that to the mechanics, mechanical workshop in the way station. Oh, Jacobot, you're so slow. Alright, I gotta speed Jacobot up by trading with Cowley. We're gonna be very, very encumbered because this is a lot of meat and leather. But hey, battle yield. And let's consult the roster just for a second. We are going to be able to start leather tanning with Chemo. Chemo Pikes wants to be our armor smith, one of maybe two. So if another one wants to be an armor smith, just let me know. Tora, you are the slowest. We'll follow Tora, and we're all going to go home. Does cooked meat weigh less than uncooked? Ooh, I don't know. I'm not going to stop here to cook it all. I don't think it matters much, one way or another. Oh, interesting. I didn't realize Scorchlanders ate raw meat. Gross. I'm going to look at them in a new light. Not a good light, either. A nasty light. So here we are, back at home. And I have a lot of stuff to drop off, so I'm not going to turn on jobs just yet. I'm going to have everybody come up here to drop off the research, the leather, the meat. I don't think anyone's significantly hurt or hurt at all, because we did not take any chances. Amoka Make, thank you for the sub. Oh, this is glorious. So much lovely stuff. All right, Rockvin, you are going to start to research in a second. Let's open this up. So, what's important? Skeleton repair beds would be pretty cool, but that does cost 2 engineering research, and we can hold off because it would only really benefit Rockfin. Rice wheat farming, that's an easy one. We can also start to do sake, grog, and rum, but I'm going to hold off on that for now because I'm more interested in the plate armor crafting. That's very important. I'm not going to do the advanced weaponsmithing yet because I don't have the fabrics to do it. And then that's what I'm going to queue up right now. I'm going to prioritize the plate armor crafting higher than everything else. So let's go ahead and get the leather tanning bench lined with the animal skins. And then it also seems to me like I am going to need a tanning storage or leather storage. So leather, I'll just put it here. And for now, the excess leather that I have, I could just stick in the general chest here. Trapper Keeper, you don't even have anything on you, so you immediately go back to weaponsmithing. And then Kang, I'm going to want you to deliver your meat to the fire. Alright, let's go through each one individually so that we can get them back to working on industry, and then starting to work on our own armor. So Fang, you can go back to the electrical bench. Poetic. God, that's a lot of fish. Let's have you drop your fish off at the storage down here so that we can feed ourselves. McNauer. Same deal. Jobs are back on. Trapper Keeper, job's already on. Orin. And King is going to be responsible turning all of this raw meat into cooked meat. I'll have him set that up now. So that's Orin. Ruka. Now, one could argue that the dried meat is probably not the best source of food that I could possibly make right now, but it's the most convenient, so I'm not going to try to make nicer quality meals out of this meat, because it would require some other resources. So Rain's back to work. And this kind of piles and piles and piles of meat is roughly what you would... If I had a successful run at hunting swamp turtles, we would have buckets and buckets and buckets of meat like this. We would have no leather, because swamp turtles don't have leather, but you would have a ton of meat. Alright, Tora, Sharp Point, and Chemo, Case, Fully. Alright. And I'll start to do the armor smithing as soon as that's researched, and then... Actually, Chemo, get back here. You're no longer working at the stone mine. You are going to work at the leather tanning bench for now. Els, there is no point in you training on that anymore because his skill is beyond the maximum that I could train. In fact, his skill is beyond the next maximum, so you are going to go to the stone mine. Replacing Chemo down there. God, look at this meat. Holy cow. Alright, so, oh, that's processed leather. I also need a storage for animal hides. Yep. Because you process the animal hides into leather. Where is it? Why am I blind? Is it research that I don't have yet? I don't think it should be. Oh, skins? Yes, I was looking at the wrong thing. Okay. Hang on a minute. Skins. Alright, and then Kang will grab a building material in a minute for that. All right, Jacobot. Let's put that away. Job's back on. And headshot. Last but not least, you didn't even have anything on you, so immediately back to work. So with the ancient science books that I have, I could go tech level 4, and I'm going to have you all vote. I could go tech level 4, which would unlock a new tier of tech for me. What else could we use the ancient science books right now for? Let me go through. If I researched steel bars, I could also unlock robotics. So steel bars are here. So I could either use 4 of my books. I could use 4 books for tech 4 and then steel bars. So I sort of have the option of getting robotics, basic robotics researched, or getting tech level 4 researched. So that's how should I use the ancient books, tech 4, or robotics. So the way the technology tree works is every tier of tech unlocks a whole new set of options. So at tech level 4, I'll be able to get the next level of like weapons and stuff like that. It starts to go, it starts to really to build up. And I'll put a timer on that. There it is. Timer's up. Ooh, ore drills. If I do robotics, there's also ore drills that I could get. Ore drills cost a lot of research, but it would definitely yield a lot more ore for me to process if I really wanted to. I'm not going to do advanced weaponsmithing just yet. I could unlock it, but I don't want a weaponsmithing bench level 2 because of the cloth requirements that we haven't yet managed to work out. Is robotics good income? It can be. Yeah, it can be. I'm not going to say it's like... I don't want to be a billionaire. So I actually don't want to make a lot of money that way. I'd rather just make my own gear and fight my own fights. Muraku, thanks for the sub. Cheers. That deserves a cheers. But yeah, robotics is really good money. The trouble is because each robotic component, each part costs so much, you're going to actually have a hard time selling it. I'll explain that in just a sec. So most vendors in this game have a finite, or all vendors in this game have a finite amount of cash. And if you're making the best possible robotic parts that you have access to in the game, what you'll end up happening is you will have like robotic limbs that are worth so much money that no one could possibly purchase them. So you can definitely screw yourself up in that way, which is kind of funny. So just be warned. Why did Trapper Keeper just make Garu noises? What the heck? Alright, so Tech 4. We'll invest it in Tech 4. Cool. Core, Tech 4. And I'll put that above everything else but plate armor crafting. I'm really eager to start getting plate armor. Not that I have good blueprints, but we can go blueprint shopping at some point. Oh, okay, there was a Gar nearby. I was a little worried. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried about Trapper Keeper or something making Garu noises, but no, it's okay. So at this point, I can either set up another XL Cactus Farm, which I don't think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait until I actually have a city. But, so all of these cactuses here are just profit at this point. We have 54 cactuses from the last yield from this farm. And I'm going to hope to get an XL wheat and an XL hemp. Maybe 2 XL hemps, to be honest. Because we're going to need a lot of hemp for clothing and the like. If we want, like, a unified uniform. Oh, let's not do that. Okay, I'm going to need to make multiple trips, clearly. Poetic has the food? Yes, he does. Let me go back to Poetic. And you can see there's a big run on food. Soon it won't really matter because I'll get all that dried meat processed, and we'll be able to feed ourselves for at least a few days, living off of that. I don't have a designated cook. You want to be one? Callie says, sure. You're also sort of the doctor, but you can be the cook too. Foley also wants to be a cook, so we can have dual cooks, which is fine given the voracity of the voraciousness of the Shek diet. I might have one of you start to make things like booze. That's still cooking, right? Said Heisenberg. And here, Chemo is making leather for the tanning bench. I don't think that these tanning benches... Oh no, it's leveling up armor smithing. Perfect. And the next thing that we're going to want here is the... armor... Where is it? The heavy armor smithy, which is a big honky donkey. I'm hoping I can nest it in here. Okay, how about in this wall? I know it turned green briefly, but I'm not gonna like shoehorn it in. That's fine. So the armor smith, but then without the plate beating station, the armor smith doesn't really do very much. So we'll also get a plate beating station sort of attached to it, so it looks cool. Because. And then some lights. I'm gonna wait until I have the stations built, so I know exactly where to put the lights for when the interaction spot is. And Kane will work to build that. And now, let's grab all of the... Oh, that's a chemo. Oops. Grab all the animal skins and put them in the storage. I got really lucky with those bulls, man. No joke. That was just very fortuitous. Yeah. Sweet. So we'll get the plate beating station and the heavy armor smithy built, and that will allow Chemo to start making really nice things. Ceiling lights would be good for light, yes. I'll probably be doing that in just a second as well. So the fans don't really matter, but the lamps are going to be a good source of illumination for us over the work spots. And they don't draw too much wattage. And they're good for illumination. They turn off at night, which is weird. Or during dawn and dusk. Excuse me. What is Slavemongers? What? Really? Everybody immediately goes to war with them? I'm okay with this, but let me rally my forces first. No, someone's attacking Headshot. Who is it? Oh, it's just a bunch of hungry bandits. Maybe it wasn't the Slavemongers that were triggering everybody. It was just these hungry bandits. I thought the Slavemongers picked a fight, but I was misinterpreted. RimWorld needs ceiling lights? There's mods for that. I don't disagree, but there's mods for that. Alright, Mr. Kang. Let's get you back up here. No, make the lights, dude. Now, one way to keep your lights on for your crafters is to buy that Illumination Lamp that the Hivers sell. It's a little pricey early on to buy for your crafters, but later on, when you're really trying to maximize the quality of your crafts, it's pretty necessary. So I was speculating doing that, but I chose not to yet. Maybe at some point I do. Oops. Gotta put the meat in the meat box. Ew. Well. That didn't sound right. Alright, so Chemo, you are... Yeah, getting that armor smithing going. Good, good, good. Trapper Keeper, you have made another blade. It is refitted quality. I will forgive you for that. It's okay. I'm definitely to blame on the lack of really good quality. And then let's also do torch posts for Chemo's station. And then we'll add torches and a lamp over here. So the lamp has a large radius, so we could just sort of do a lamp that will illuminate the whole area like that. And we're all happily working. Well, here goes the drums again. Oh, Kenshi, never change. Alright, we'll need 5 building materials for the heavy armor smithy. And then I don't really have a lot of blueprints for it. And it's actually going to be a little bit annoying to get blueprints for it, because the closest place, obvious place to get blueprints would be Squin or AdMag, but we're not allowed to trade with the Shek, so I'll have a bit further to go. I already have the eardrum mod installed. If you look at the line of text 2 lines above your comment, yeah. Facepalm. It doesn't work very well, and I've been troubleshooting it with the mod maker, so I have more troubleshooting obviously to do. Alright, so there we go. All the iron plates have been installed, and now I just need 5 building materials to do the rest. Basic furniture we already have. I'm not going to buy building materials because we're making them wholesale, so let's go get some of those. Oh, posture check. Look at them crawl away. We're so nice that we don't finish them off. We probably shouldn't be that nice. It's not like the Hungry Bandits would be courteous to us, right? Trying to think of how to make a little bit more room. This isn't gonna work. I've made less room. Good job, me. I don't really have a easy way to grab the building materials. Fine, we'll make multiple trips. Three of 5. I'm glad you like the chill vibe, and you're tuning in from State of Decay. I'll actually be trying to finish up the State of Decay series next Tuesday. So if you've been looking for a conclusion to that, one is coming. Hopefully, you know, if all goes well. Didn't have too many hearts left to clear. So grinding out, making animal skins into leather is a good way to sort of initially level up your armor smithing so that you don't make just such garbage tier stuff. Now that we have tech level 2 researched, or 4 rather, you can see some of the wonderful things that we get. So copper alloys, being able to make copper plates, which is useful for buildings and the like later on. Of course, tech level 5, which requires 8 books, which I do not have. In crafting, we have automatic looms. So looms that do not require someone working at them to make fabric out of cotton or hemp. They do require ancient science books, and it requires me to upgrade my research bench up to level 4, which I could do eventually. And I'm going to have you all vote on how I spend this last ancient science book. So I could get a hemp loom to help with that. So that would be one possibility. And here, let me write these down. How to spend the last ancient book. And of course, I could always go out to get more books, but I just got the ones that were easy to get. So auto hemp loom is one option. We also get some other things like harpoon turrets, which are really strong mounted turrets for base defense. Unlocked there, but it does require Ancient Science Books ×2, which I can't do right now. We could do mounted crossbows Mark II, which I don't think would be useful, but you could vote on it if you want. Other Ancient Science Booky things. Thank you for watching Shek's Conquest, which originally streamed live on Twitch October 29th. If you have any feedback for me or questions of any type, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. Thank you so very much to my Twitch subscribers and Patreon patrons for supporting the channel, and I hope you enjoyed this episode and catch the next one or an upcoming stream. Farewell, everybody.